As human beings, we like to base our opinions on what the rest of society thinks is right or even cool. There's one particular group within our society that we tend to place a lot of criticism upon. What group, you ask? Criminals. We like to think that criminals have total control over their actions, but that's not always the case. What if I told you that the brain has a significant influence on determining whether or not a person becomes a criminal? Could I change your opinion on the average criminal? So, let's start by asking ourselves, does the brain make a criminal? People have been questioning the criminal decision-making process for quite some time. These men are just a select few of many that have developed theories behind the idea. Lombroso thought that maybe abnormal facial structure could play into why a person commits a crime. That's a little silly now, of course, but we had to start somewhere, right? Within the brain, there is a structure called the amygdala. This helps control our levels of fear and our levels of aggression. Scientists have discovered that lower amygdala levels can lead to high levels of aggression. It's important to recognize when someone shows more aggression than another person. Without help, they may find themselves in a situation like this. When talking about criminals, it's important to discuss the frontal lobe, which helps regulate our decisions, and the temporal lobe, which helps stabilize our emotions. If a person has trouble making sound decisions and they can't maintain their emotions, there's a high chance that they could have damage to their frontal or temporal lobes. It's important to recognize abnormal behaviors and be prepared to help someone when they are recovering from a brain injury. If we don't, they could, once again, find themselves in a small jail cell. A neuroscientist named Jim Fallon that works at the University of California at Irvine has conducted extensive research on the brains of criminals. He found out how serotonin, a neurotransmitter that is meant to keep us calm and relaxed, can cause a criminal. Sometimes there is too much serotonin in the brain of a developing baby, which causes the child to experience symptoms of overexposure. This results in the baby having more difficulty staying calm and relaxed as they grow older. Once again, it's important to know those symptoms of overexposure so that we can find help for a person when they need it. Studies have shown that kids with extreme ADD are often very violent and angry. Scientists have discovered that this is due to low arousal levels in the brain. This means that the brain is having a difficult time regulating the child's behavior. Unfortunately, if these kids don't get help with maintaining their behavior, there's a high chance they'll end up in jail. At this point, you're probably asking yourself some of these questions. So, let's talk about why all of this information is important. As a progressive society, it is crucial for us to recognize atypical behaviors. If we can take the time to educate ourselves on things like lower amygdala levels, damage to the frontal and temporal lobes, increased serotonin in the brain, and violence with ADD, maybe we can eliminate the misunderstanding of the criminal decision-making agenda. I hope that this information has opened up your mind about the brain of your average criminal. Before letting society dominate your opinions on a topic, do your research. You never know what you'll find out.
Created using Powtoon.